Okay, Stormtrooper, this is really bothering me, but could you take off your helmet?
What's wrong, Bigfoot?
All right, folks, welcome back to BigfootFlix. I'm here with Stormtrooper.
Good day, citizens. All right, let's get into it. Across from me is a man who's seen battle and missed most of it. So how do you even see through that helmet, man? I can't tell if you're confused or just always squinting.
It's like looking through a foggy windshield, underwater, while being judged.
Okay, but that armor? You get hit once and just drop. What's the point?
Honestly, it's more about the look.
So you're saying it's cosplay with consequences? It's dangerous, right? I mean, the troop could easily be wiped out.
Exactly. You try sweating in plastic for 8 hours straight. Either you died from a gunshot wound or ammonia poisoning.
Wait, are you telling me the Empire lost more troops to heat stroke than rebels?
Statistically, dehydration's the real enemy.
So no wonder y'all shoot like that. You're dizzy and blind in a plastic sauna.
I call it tactical blur.
All right, real question. What happens when nature calls and you're sealed in that Tupperware suit? You hold it or you fail the mission. You don't want to be blamed by the entire franchise for not being able to hold your bowels, right?
No zippers, no hatches, no tactical trapdoor?
Negative. The Empire believes in discipline and shame.
So somewhere out there, there's a stormtrooper who peed mid-battle and still missed every shot?
For classified accidents. But yes.
Okay, so you're telling me a dude in full panic, bladder about to explode, is still expected to hit a target?
Let's just say nobody was aiming their best.
Be honest, do they even train you guys to aim? Because, guys, sometimes I feel annoyed because I side with Darkseid. Of course, our division is financed with around 4 million Imperial credits. We had an entire afternoon for that.
Afternoon?
Bro, that's not training. That's a birthday party.
Yeah.
And yet, I graduated top of my squad of 2.
And no less an achievement than that, I'm still alive.
I get it.
Yeah.
You shoot like someone trying not to spill their drink during a bumpy Uber ride while blindfolded and emotionally unavailable.
That's because we are. The cups are inside the helmet. One wrong sip, and you're blind for the rest of the firefight.
You know what? That actually makes sense. It's like war meets sippy cup trauma. Man, no wonder you guys need a day off.
Yeah, but our day off is like a pain in the ass. We'd better take a long shift than that.
But back up. How does someone even become a stormtrooper? Is there like a Craigslist for space fascists?
There's a flyer spread across space. You scan the code and surrender your personality.
That's it? No interview? No vibe check?
You get a helmet. If it fits, you're in. Congratulations, you're now legally replaceable.
No, it can't be that easy, right?
Wait, you want a serious answer?
Are you kidding me, dude? This is a podcast. People want the answer.
Used to be clones. One guy, copied 1 million times, efficient, obedient, short expiration date.
You must be joking, right?
After that, the Empire started pulling in recruits. Academies, drills, brainwashing. Loyalty over logic.
It can't be that way. That's horrible. So they turned into a killing machine.
And you signed up for that?
I didn't sign anything. Where I'm from, you don't get asked, you get taken.
Raised in it. Trained in it. One day you're playing with blocks, next day you're learning formations.
Man, that's heavy. I can't even tolerate a hobby like that.
Yeah. But hey, free boots.
Of course, guess what? That was less painful, knowing the fact that a boy defeated us. How does it feel knowing your entire workplace got exploded by a farm boy and his flashlight? Honestly, it was Taco Tuesday. I never even made it back from the mess hall.
So you missed the explosion and the battle?
Missed everything except the bad cafeteria meat. That survived.
And what about the rebels? You guys were chasing a princess, a smuggler, and a Wookiee like it was Scooby-Doo.
To be fair, we almost caught them. A few times. Then they got help from a space wizard with anger issues. If I saw a barefoot old man swinging a glow stick at my boss, I'd switch sides too.
That was the moment morale dipped.
Real talk, did anyone actually like Darth Vader, or was it just fear and asthma respect? Don't answer if you are threatened. Depends. If breathing like a haunted fax machine counts as charisma, then yeah, huge fan.
Any truth to the rumor that Vader could choke people through video calls? Like Zoom meetings with fatal consequences?
Confirmed. HR switched to emails after that. No one wanted to be the next guy who coughed during a briefing.
Okay, but under the helmet, are you guys all dudes? Or is it like mystery loot boxes in there? Officially, we're uniform assets. Gender optional. Blaster required.
That actually sounds more progressive than Earth. You try explaining non-binary to a DMV clerk in Ohio.
I did. They printed me 3 driver's licenses, and none of them were mine.
Yeah, people nowadays are great at Wi-Fi, terrible at deciding which bathroom I can use
In that case. What surprised me more was that a woman said that she was a man and she liked women.
Dude, that was being straight with extra steps.
You know, I sometimes regret the decision to become Vader's slave. But after knowing this, I am very grateful not to be an Earthling. I got shot 5 times last week. Still less painful than being called ma'am and sir in the same sentence.
Honestly, you'd get misgendered at the grocery store.
Whatever, dude. I'd rather consider them a Karen and walk away instead of going crazy.
These kinds of things reminded me of my centaur friend. Last time I saw him, the pronoun was medium rare.
You just reminded me of my friend. He was alive, then medium rare, and miraculously, he was alive again.
Dude, that's weird as fuck. He must be living in a fictional world. Who is your friend, RoboCop?
Now he walks like Windows 95 is running his knees. But whenever I had a bad day at work, he reminded me of something.
RoboCop, of course. RoboCop's pronouns are justice served. I met RoboCop once. Nice guy, but what does he remind you of?
Whenever I have a bad day at work, I remember that guy died at work and they resurrected him so he could go back to work. Tragic. They revived him just to clock back in. Bro, that's not justice. That's linked in with necromancy. Yeah, they didn't even ask if he wanted to come back.
Without salary, without incentives is wild. Man, Earth really knows how to ruin a comeback story.
People complain about the dumbest things, pockets, labels, the weather. You know, people complain about everything down there. Pockets, labels, weather.
A foolish man will complain about the hole in his pocket. A wise man will use it to scratch his balls.
Practical, philosophical, disturbing. Exactly the kind of advice we got during Empire orientation.
What kind of job orientation is that?
Efficient. We signed NDAs, learned how to fall off ledges, and got a crash course in what to do if your superior turns into a cyborg mid-meeting.
Dude, that's not a job. That's a death cult with armor.
Yeah.
Correct. But with dental. And it's free.
So let me get this straight. You had a death wizard boss, a moon that exploded twice, and you lost a war to forest beavers with anxiety issues?
Beavers don't decorate with bones. Ewoks do. I've seen a tree hollow filled with polished helmets and femurs, arranged by size. They called it art.
Okay, fair. Still, man, how did you even survive all that?
I didn't. That's why I'm on a podcast with a cryptid now. Hey, welcome to the afterlife. We got Wi-Fi and trauma bonding.
Yes, finally. A place where the screaming is emotional. No one's getting choked across the room for asking about vacation days. No Sith breathing in your ear during lunch. Man, humans work 5 days a week just to enjoy 2, and humans think they've got it rough. You guys didn't even get weekends, right? Yep, in the Empire, we worked 7. We considered death a personal day. One trooper faked his own carbon freeze just to get out of a staff meeting.
On Earth, we just call in sick and fake a cough. You guys are out here freezing yourselves like leftovers. Remind me never to complain about emails again. Nah, emails don't chase you across a hallway with a red lightsaber. Unless you forget to reply to Vader. Then it's both.
Okay, but hey, I heard that Vader is a good leader. He'd rather raise people up than tear them down.
You know, Bigfoot, I understand you talk like that because he sacrificed for Luke. For me, it's just because he paid me well.
Wait, hold up, paid you well? What kind of salary are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like villain money or government budget money? 2,400 credits a month. No overtime. Housing was free if you count a shared bunk and recycled air.
2,400 credits a month? Huh. What's that in Earth money? Like enough for rent and food? Or is that live in your spaceship and eat protein cubes kind of salary?
I don't know for sure, but an underground money changer valued 1,000 galactic credits at $16,000 something this morning.
Wait, you were making CEO money and still bunking with 12 guys and a bucket droid. Where did all that cash go?
Most of it went to Space Casino, but luckily I stopped that bad habit. And don't forget to send home, too.
Wait, you were gambling in space and sending money home? Man, you're like a deadbeat uncle and a responsible dad at the same time.
Yeah, balance is important. The thing is, send money home to remember why you keep going.
All right. You ever hear back from him?
Once. Short message. Said the money helped and they missed me.
Damn, didn't think you had that in you. Under all that armor, there's actually a good dude in there.
Well, armor's just easier than feeling things. But thanks, I think. Not many people say that to someone who used to guard interrogation rooms.
Wait, interrogation rooms? Man, I thought my job was intense. I just hide from helicopters. Literally everywhere.
Well, you hide. I had to stand still while someone screamed about rebel codes and a floating droid hovered menacingly behind me.
Yikes. So you were like emotional wallpaper for torture scenes? Man, and I thought Comic-Con bathrooms were traumatizing.
Exactly. Except the wallpaper doesn't get blamed when someone breaks. Or promoted when they don't.
Okay, next question. I wonder what happened to the families when one of you didn't come back?
Nothing. The Empire didn't show sympathy. No letters, no medals, no thank you for your son. Just silence.
Man, that's cold. People talk about monsters like me, but that's real horror. I'm sorry you had to be part of that.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Some days I wonder if the armor was to protect us or to hide what we were becoming.
Well, I actually feel bad asking this, but it turned out I couldn't sleep for a week.
Come on, Sam. Intergalactic travel isn't cheap if paid for in dollars. While I'm here, feel free to ask.
Well, it's not like that. I'm afraid you're being tapped, dude. So my planet is in danger, at least in danger of being wiped out. Well, if Vader was tapping me, you'd already be ash, dude. Relax. He only wipes out planets when he's in a really bad mood or stuck in traffic.
Okay, then. This planet is already too damaged, by the way. Do you guys even have a name?
Well, we're born with names, but the Empire trains them out of us. Out there, I was TK421. In here, I'm still figuring it out.
TK421 is more like a series of BMW cars from China than a name. Either you're a clone or someone's luxury sedan.
Dude, don't get me wrong, but there are also those with real names. Real-born humans, not a clone like me. They are real, dude.
Whoa, so some of you were born, some were built, and all of you got tossed into the same mess?
Yeah, and one of the born guys, Greg, he's still in, just vlogging his daily life like it's normal.
Oh, I've heard about him. What's he up to now?
Last I heard, he is on assignment in Cloud City this week, still vlogging.
Dude, wait, his name is still TK42-Greg. But still more human than you, I think.
Yeah, agreed. He's a stormtrooper born from a mother's womb. Unfortunately, he's in the conscripted army, so it's not his passion.
Damn, you know, I was just thinking of a cool name if I get drafted. BF-109. Cool, right?
You know, Sam, that's not how names are given there. Besides, the name was already taken by a Nazi fighter plane.
Man, drafted into armor and still finds time to vlog. Respect. Speaking of weird choices, do you guys ever get to fly those ships?
Still trying to get my TIE fighter license. Failed the simulator twice. Turns out flying in space is harder when your joystick's older than your morale. If you're not flying, what did you actually do in the army? Please don't say, stood around and missed every shot. Mostly patrols, crowd control, and guarding high-risk zones. Sometimes escort missions. Sometimes cleanup after Vader lost his temper. It wasn't all action. A lot of the time, we just stood there, waiting for something to happen, or someone to give the order.
So, real question. What country on Earth do you think is most like the Empire? Please say Canada. I want to be surprised.
If I had to choose, any place where power matters more than people, truth is optional, and fear keeps things running.
So, real question. What country on Earth do you think is most like the Empire? Please say Canada. I want to be surprised, dude.
If I had to choose, any place where power matters more than people, truth is optional, and fear keeps things running.
Okay, serious now. Did regular people choose to live under the Empire? Or was it one of those you're free to obey situations?
Well, technically, they chose stability over freedom. Then woke up one day with curfews, surveillance, and a statue of Palpatine in their front yard.
Man, and I thought HOA rules were strict. At least they don't make you salute the neighborhood watch.
Depends on the neighborhood. I once got written up for parallel parking next to a TIE fighter. It exploded 5 minutes later. Technically not my fault.
All right, so what now? You got a post-Empire game plan? Or are you going to end up running a space food truck called Blaster Burgers?
Thinking about bounty hunting. Less paperwork, better tips. Also considering a podcast. Apparently I'm already on one.
So you're trading blasters for bounties and banter? Are we calling this a career pivot or a midlife rebellion?
Well, I'm trying to figure out who I am without a helmet. Some call it desertion. I call it finally clocking out.
Welcome to the club. It's weirdly full of people who didn't plan to join. Ever wonder what you'd be doing if the Empire never found you?
Sometimes. Maybe a mechanic, maybe just invisible like before, but at least it would have been my choice.
Choice makes all the difference, huh? Even monsters like me get that. People fear what we are, but forget, we didn't always get to choose it either.
Sometimes the scariest things aren't the ones we are, it's the ones we're told to become.
So, you ever think about staying on Earth? Or is this just another weird mission with better snacks?
Well, I don't know. But I figured I'd stick around Earth a bit longer, see what kind of mess it turns into next.
That is a smart move. We've got 5 seasons of disasters and no finale in sight. Just wait till you meet Florida.
Sounds like a war zone with better beaches. Do I need armor or a swimsuit? I'm still not ready with the girls, you know?
Relax, man. No one's ready for the girls in Miami. They hit harder than rebel blasters and spot fear like Jedi.
Not gonna lie, that sounds kinda exciting. Maybe I'll trade my blaster for sunglasses and just vibe for a while.
Do it, man. Hit a beach, try tacos, maybe even dance badly at a wedding. That's the real Earth experience. Honestly, that sounds like a vacation. Or a trap. You ever been to a wedding, Bigfoot?
They crashed 2, one in a forest, one in Vegas. Turns out I'm great on the dance floor and terrible at gift registries.
Wait, Vegas? Were you there for the wedding or the alien convention?
Both. Got mistaken for the groom and the keynote speaker.
Well, all right, be honest. What do I wear to a human wedding? I can't show up in armor again.
Are you going to Comic-Con or what exactly?
Actually, I'm afraid of going viral on social media for being inappropriate.
It's understandable if you reason like that. Humans are really unpredictable these days.
Exactly. One wrong move and boom, viral meme. I'm starting to think Stormtrooper protocol was easier than modern etiquette. Play it safe. Suit, tie, maybe lose the helmet. And whatever you do, don't dance like you're dodging blaster fire.
All right. Got it. Blend in, no armor, minimal trauma reflexes. Thanks, fashion guru.
Real question, though. Why do you still wear the armor? You hiding from someone? Or just really into plastic fashion?
Well, it's the only thing that ever made me feel like I belonged. Without it, I'm just a guy who followed orders. That's deep, man. Takes guts to admit that, and even more to walk around in it every day.
All right, but real question. How'd you even make it to the city? Don't exactly see a lot of big, hairy hikers on the highway.
That's a long story, but short version? FBI caught me, then offered a secret job. Guess I'm government property now.
You got hired by your hunters. Either you're very lucky or they're very desperate.
Not that lucky, I guess. Had to take a dart in my shoulder. Then woke up just to sign a contract before the grogginess wore off.
That's tough, dude. Empire usually skips the dart and goes straight to brainwashing, but yours sounds almost polite.
Well, that's why I kind of get Vader, man. At least he's honest about being the bad guy.
Dude, I gotta start syncing my perspective with Earth people before I get canceled harder than the Death Star's exhaust port design. Good call. One wrong tweet and boom, galactic exile, my dude. Blend in first, post later. Earth's the jungle for those who don't blend.
Okay, but seriously, how do people not freak out when they see you? You're like a walking conspiracy theory with fur.
Well, at first they do. Phones come out, people scream. But then someone yells cosplay, and suddenly I'm just another dude at a Comic-Con.
Cosplay saved your life. That's honestly impressive. I should have brought a lightsaber, called myself Greg, and started a cooking vlog. You know,
Never thought I'd be sitting here talking life with a stormtrooper. But this kind of beats hiding in the wood.
Same here. I've marched across planets and never once felt, where's this human?
Maybe that's what Earth does to you. Slows you down just enough to feel something.
Or maybe it's just the company.
Careful, trooper. You're sounding less like a buckethead and more like a friend.
Dude, don't tell Vader. He still thinks I'm out on patrol near Endor, by the way.
All right, your secret's safe with me, Greg. Long as you promise not to report me for emotional damage to Stormtrooper morale.
Okay, Stormtrooper, this is really bothering me, but could you take off your helmet?
What's wrong, Bigfoot?
Okay, wait a minute. All right, first of all, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's it, folks. Subscribe and see you on the next podcast.